Welcome to Chargers Daily. I'm Fun Bobby, and I'm back, and I'm your host. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, and let's go, Bolt fam. Today's news is sweeter than stealing candy from a Raiders fan's baby. I'm Fun Bobby, and I'm back. And there's so many headlines today, even my notifications ask for PTO. The news is hotter than an 80s Baywatch audition room with no AC and 400 spotlights. Maxx freaking Crosby, the fully inked sack machine maniac who's haunted our nightmares for years in Vegas, just got traded to Baltimore. Thank you, God. It would have only been better if he went to the NFC. But that's right, NFL Network and Adam Schefter dropped the bomb. The Raiders shipped their lone superstar to Baltimore for 2 first-round picks. The Ravens 2026, which is number 14, and 2027, straight up. No conditions, no swaps, just pure desperation for Mark Davis. Like he finally looked at his cap sheet and screamed, "What have I done?" Let's paint the picture. Crosby, 28 years old, coming off a beastly 2025 season with 12 and a half sacks, 55 tackles, and 5 forced fumbles. The only reason Raiders weren't a complete dumpster fire was because of this man, Maxx Crosby. And now he's gone. Traded away like yesterday's trash. Bolt fam, this gift is better than when the wife tried the VR for the first time and karate chopped the lamp into retirement. No more Crosby spinning through our O-line like it's a blender on steroids. No more 2.5 sack games where he celebrates like he invented football. He's off to the AFC North, and it's time for him to go terrorize the Steelers instead. Good luck. Ravens, with that cap hit and no future picks, man, I hope it was worth it. The Raiders traded their franchise face for 2 firsts, like selling your family heirloom sword for a couple of lottery tickets and hoping you hit the jackpot. Mark Davis looks at those picks and sees future stars, but this is the Raiders. It'll probably be future practice squad legends. This is not a rebuild. It's more like a re-break. They're tanking harder than a bad actor in a soap opera death scene. I'll grade the Raiders on getting an A for getting those two picks, but knowing it's the Raiders, I'm just going to guess what those 2 picks are going to turn out to be. Complete garbage. And in trade, they lost their only Pro Bowler. The 2 firsts on paper sound great. And with Fernando Mendoza coming in at number 1 overall, sure, they can rebuild around him. Ideology-wise, it's a smart reset. Even if it means that they're about to be the laughingstock of the league. Oh, wait, they have been. And I'm here for every second of it. Now, the Ravens. They immediately got scarier. Adding Crosby to their defense is scarier than a toddler walking toward you slowly holding scissors and smiling politely. He'll line up opposite of Raekwon Smith, turning their pass rush into a war machine that crushes QBs like empty beer cans at a tailgate. Crosby's a monster. Double-digit sacks in 3 of the past 4 years, including 14.5 in 23 and 12.5 in 22, leading the NFL in tackles for a loss those seasons. But here's the hilarious twist. They're mortgaging the future away. 2 first-round picks gone, poof. If it'd gone to anybody but the Raiders, they probably would make a miracle out of those. But not the Raiders. And for the Ravens, for a guy who's great now, but what if he pulls a hamstring or demands a new deal? Baltimore is like the guy who maxes out the credit card on a sports car. It looks cool today, but tomorrow it's broken down or they can't afford the gas. I'll grade the Ravens a B. It's an immediate upgrade for sure. And I mean, they're definitely Super Bowl contenders with that addition. But they're betting the farm on that win now mode. And if it flops, won't be a great year. It won't be a great year 1 look for Minter if it flops. Let's just say that. Raiders fans are posting we got 2 firsts, like they just won the lottery. I'm over here kind of laughing inside. trying not to let out one of those never trust a fart farts. They traded their only Pro Bowler for picks they'll waste on guys who might be the next Ryan Leaf. Meanwhile, Jim Harbaugh is probably doing a quiet fist pump in his office, whispering "Mall people" like it's the victory chant. No more Crosby nightmares in the AFC West. Herbert sleeps easier. Our O-line breathes a sigh of relief. This trade helps us more than any free agent splash. The Raiders just got weaker. I'm not sure they could have, but they did. And we're popping the cork on that division crown early. We're coming. Bolt fam, hit the comments. Grade the trade for the Raiders. Is it an A for acing up the rebuild or an F for future flop? How many sacks does Crosby get in Baltimore before the Ravens regret mortgaging their picks? Or is this the NFL setting us up for a new villain? Today's news is a Chargers miracle, I'll say that. The Raiders just made our path easier, and I'm living for it. Bolt up, charge on, and thank the football gods that Max Crosby is no longer our problem twice a year. There's no doubt about that. Now hold on to your beer and pretzels because we're still talking defense. And who are we talking about? Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. Once again, here we go again for the third segment. This might as well be a regular segment on Khalil Mack. And I had to drop it again because the Khalil Mack saga just got a happy ending, bigger than a rubber duck on a jacuzzi jet in a bubble bath. According to Pro Football Talk on NBC Sports this morning, Mack is staying with the Chargers on a one-year deal. No retirement, no chasing rings in Pittsburgh or Baltimore, just pure powder blue loyalty. Let's get this monster a ring before he retires and bring it home to Los Angeles. And the cherry on top, $18 million. I said it when I previously covered this. He was going to get right around last year's deal, and that's exactly what it is. But this is for a future Hall of Famer who's still dropping QBs like dropping a smoking habit in your 50s. Bargain of the century. Mack, he's our 34-year-old sack king. Sticks around to mentor Tuli Tuipulotu and maul the AFC West like it's his personal playground. This is great for the Chargers locker room. It locks in a legendary leader who turns our defense back into that neighborhood Rottweiler that makes you afraid to walk down the street. $18 million for Mack is no big deal. Without him, our edge rush would look like a knife fight with plastic sporks. Bringing back Mack is like your ex texting you, "I miss you," after a sudden bad breakup. Suddenly, everything's golden, the vibes are back, and you're winning arguments you didn't even know you had. Khalil penetrates lines quick. He bends the arc nasty. He strips clean, and he finishes with violence. Just prolonged domination that leaves offenses deflated and begging for mercy. 5.5 sacks last year despite missing time. I see him hitting double digits this year. This deal is genius. Keeps the band together. We're getting the band back together, man. Harbaugh smirks like he just won bingo, and we get to watch Mack chase Mahomes around Arrowhead like a bad dream. If he balls out, maybe another extension's coming. If not, he can just do a graceful exit on his terms. Either way, Chargers win. No more will he, won't he drama. Bolt fam, hit the comments. How many sacks does Khalil Mack get in 26? This is the news that makes our offseason. Bolt up, and let's get the king sacking fools in powder blue. I can't wait for this year. I'm freaking pumped. And I'm going to say it right this time. Biadish. I had to look this up, guys, because he's a Charger now. All right? I covered him, and bang, he's a Charger. Maybe I need to manifest more of this stuff into reality. Tyler Biadish, the center steel that's cheaper than a SoFi parking lot and tougher than a Harbaugh handshake. Listen, if your heart wasn't already pounding from that news in the offseason and all this drama, buckle up. We locked in Tyler Biadish. I had to figure out if this was a good deal for us, but I'm feeling very, very optimistic about it. He's on a 3-year, $30 million deal that's got me giggling like a kid who found $20 in his old jeans. Chargers.com dropped the deets today, and this is the kind of smart, sneaky signing that makes you think Ortiz might actually know what he's doing. We're talking a former Pro Bowl center, and I said he was released by the Cowboys. He played for the Cowboys. He was released by the Commanders for cap reasons, and he's now anchoring our line for less than market value slightly. He was projected at a $20.2 million 2-year deal by Spot-Track. We got him for 3 at $10 million AAV. That's a steal. And the great thing about this, it's leaving us plenty of room in our cap. I mean, we're bringing back Khalil Mack. That's an $18 million deal. But listen, we still have money to shop for more trench beef without Spanos having a heart attack. Let's geek out on why this guy's a unicorn, okay? Biadish, the 2020 4th-round pick by Dallas, earned Pro Bowl honors in 2022 as an alternate. He started 16 games and helping the Cowboys go 12-5 to the NFC divisional round. In 2025, he allowed just 3 sacks and 21 pressures on a 571 pass blocking snaps. That's elite protection, okay? That would have had Herbert sending thank you cards. Instead, Herbert was playing Frogger from the blindside blitz. His overall PFF grade hit 71.5, 11th among centers with 800 or more snaps. With a 71.2 run block grade, 12th. Above average mauler, this guy fits Harbaugh's pancake people till they beg philosophy. And he was born in where? In a Wisconsin barn, people. Wait, he really was. Speaking of which, fun fact, Biadish family owns a dairy farm in Amherst, Wisconsin. 1,000 acres, 850 to 900 cows, where he learned work ethic, milking cows and stacking hay bales. I'm for it. Grandpa taught him to clean barns, feed calves, and turn mess into memories. And get this, he was recruited to Wisconsin as a defensive lineman with 232 high school tackles and 19 sacks, but flipped to offense and won the 2019 Remington Trophy as the best college center, the first for the Badgers. Consensus first team All-American, started all 41 games at left tackle and center. Talk about a guy who's tougher than a $2 steak. This guy's an animal. Bozeman snaps look like a drunk toddler throwing a frisbee. Now Biadish slides in for $10 million a year. This is like buying a Ferrari at a garage sale price. Overkill value without selling the farm or the dairy farm. We avoided overpaying for Linderbaum, and I would have been great on Linderbaum, but that would have cost us double this, $20 million plus annually. Financially, this is a smart move. Hortiz, like dodging a bad date before she orders the lobster. Signing Biadish is like finally hiring a bodyguard who's not going to let anyone near our VIP. Herbert gets clean pockets, the run game opens up, and our offense stops looking like a clown car in a demolition derby. This turns our line from oops into oh hell yes. Bolt fam, hit the comments. Biadish, the steal of the offseason. How many clean snaps before Herbert starts throwing parades, people? We got this dairy farm dude in powder blue, and now watch the pocket hold like it's super glued, okay? This is amazing. Deal alert, deal alert, deal alert, deal. This is the deal of the century, people, and this is vital. Guys, I am pumped, okay? Kamani Vidal. Listen, today's news couldn't get any hotter. If it did, I'd need a fire extinguisher because we're talking Kamani Vidal getting the exclusive rights tender from the Bolts. We knew it was coming, but it's done. This guy's a superhero in cleats. Chargers.com dropped the bomb. We've tendered Vidal, extended Jared Patterson and Kendall Williamson, and suddenly our backfield looks less like a comedy sketch and more like a Harbaugh fever dream. Vidal stepped in when Omarion Hampton and Najee Harris went down with injuries. Suddenly Vidal's carrying the load like he's got a personal grudge against the turf. The guy was awesome. He was basically a starting running back. He did 643 yards and a receiving touchdown to boot. Tendering Vidal is like finding a $100 bill in your old Chargers jersey. Unexpected, awesome, and just enough to keep the hope alive without breaking the bank. Kamani bursts quick through the holes, bounces off contact like it's nothing. He finishes strong in the end zone. Defenses were left panting, man. He smoked them like a pack of cigars at a Cuban barbecue. This tender on Vidal is genius. Cheap, smart, leaves room for Harbaugh to hoard more trench monsters. Mike McDaniels is already salivating. I mean, he spent his entire career as a run game coordinator, finding ways to run the ball even when defenses stack the box like it's Black Friday at Best Buy. Bolt fam, Vidal's tender is expected, but it's a big offseason gem. A breakout back who's now locked in for minimum wage while we build around him. Hit the comments. How many touchdowns does he score in 2026? Bolt fam, let's charge on with Vidal leading the way like he's got rockets strapped to his cleats. And I'll see you tomorrow on Chargers Daily.